Good morning. Good morning over there. It's a joy for me to be a joy that I can't hide, really. A joy that has been in my heart for quite many years, ever since I heard about Park Lake Presbyterian Church, because the first time I heard about you was in 2003. So that's a long time. It's my first time to be with you today. I am so happy. As they said, my name is Ebralie Mwizerwa. I'm a native of Rwanda. I have moved to the United States in late 2000, in August of 2000. But ever since, it's a joy every day. I joined the Outreach Foundation 15 years ago to care for projects as a projects coordinator, but more importantly, to be a link to the African continent as the African on the staff of the Outreach Foundation. And more importantly, to also connect this continent to the continent of Africa. They have told you about me as a genocide survivor, and it's true that we survived the genocide, and after that, you just wonder what else is, what you have, Lord, for me. The choir just sang, "Let your faith be stronger than your fears." Thank you. That's a blessing. And that's probably also a prophecy. I'm talking to Presbyterians, but I also hope you believe in prophecies, right? In your songs, there are so many hallelujahs, and I hope the prophecy is also coming along. Even though we are Presbyterians, we believe in prophecies. I am a Presbyterian for my entire life, but I believe and I have seen prophecies coming true and coming to pass. So I believe in prophecies, and I hope you do, because otherwise our hopes will be for nothing if we don't believe in what is written in the Bible to come to pass. Let your faith be stronger than your fears. I think sometimes some prophecies are fearful, that's why we don't believe in them. I do believe in prophecies. I moved from my homeland, pushed out by tragedy, and this also brings me to tell you, like I told some of you earlier on, that the road that leads you to a mission field may not be a straight highway, maybe a rocky path. Those of you, I can see some families from your congregation, maybe from overseas, from Africa. I have seen so many of your families from Africa. They can tell you it's not been an easy ride to get here. It cannot be an easy ride for you, maybe sometime, to get to Africa. But the word of God on this day, that your congregation has chosen, in Mark 16:15, let's read it all together. And Jesus said to them, Jesus told Park Lake, "Go into the whole world and preach the gospel to everyone." Go into all the world and preach the gospel to everyone. That's the word of Jesus. But as I as I kind of reflected and sat down to think about what to share with you today, I kind of looked at my own life. My husband, William, and we have 5 children together. We have 5 children, and it's never an easy question to really wonder, what is it that, Lord, you want us to do? And what is it that you are pointing at this particular time in the history of our family? You can imagine some of the children are now grown. I have 3 grandchildren, very lovely. You can wish each one of the mothers to become a grandmother one day. And so when you think about your family, your entire family, when we are a family, how is it that we fulfill the mandate to go and preach the gospel to everyone? But more importantly, who is that everyone? Who is in your world is everyone. Everyone for me may be different from everyone for you. Everyone for the choir may be different from everyone else for you. But as a congregation, who is everyone that you should preach the gospel to? And what is the gospel that we are preaching? The Outreach Foundation stands for proclamation of the word, of the gospel, in word and in deed. And as a matter of fact, Paul also clearly says, faith without work is what? Is dead. You will excuse me, probably I will be moving around because as you can tell, I'm not a trained preacher. I'm only an inspired preacher. And I'm only inspiring you for what the Bible says. Everyone may be the one in suffering. Everyone might be the one unlovable, the one not to love, the one anyone would hate. But in the eyes of God, that is included in everyone. Everyone might be a member of your congregation. Everyone might be a place far away. When we were seated here with the children, there is a whole lot that going on in just our world. The world is not just a point. When I was seated in Africa, in my own homeland, my mother used to say, and still, even today, when I talk to her, I am fortunate among the many Rwandans, I'm fortunate to still have a mother, by the way. And whenever I talk to her, she always asks me, how is Rwanda? How is Rwanda over there? She feels like even where I am today is Rwanda. So Rwanda is not that point on the map. It's a whole world for her. Well, how is Rwanda? And I can add, how are Rwandans over there? And for that matter, Rwandans would also include you and me. Those from Cameroon will say, how are Cameroonians there? And my mother would mean, including you, everyone for her is Rwanda. Everyone for our grandmothers, everyone is a native of Rwanda. When I moved to the United States, then you begin to think, you are a stranger. it's not until you get embraced by a church like Park Lake, like First Pres of Nashville, that you begin to think, I belong. So everyone might be in your midst, and everyone might be outside your walls. Everyone might be outside your continent. Everyone might be outside your states. Outside might be everyone. Everyone. So be careful. I love Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa said once, and I want to quote clearly what she says. She says, I see God in every human. When, this is what I want to bring to your attention. When I wash the leper's wounds, I feel like I am nursing the Lord himself. I see God in every human. When I wash the leper's wounds, I feel like I am nursing the Lord himself. Is it not a beautiful experience? That's Mother Teresa. Which means for me, everyone may be a leper in your eyes. Everyone might be an untouchable if you are in India. Everyone might be a homeless if you are in Orlando. Everyone might be an orphan if you survived the genocide. And if you are in Africa, where HIV/AIDS is like a tragedy, everyone might be an orphan who is also, sometime with nothing. Everyone might be that person. The one we don't even want to come close, the leper. A child that we always say, oh, go away. The Presbyterian Church in Rwanda has started a ministry to what we call special needs children, but severe cases of special needs that most of the families in Africa would just live inside their walls and not even be visible because they're considered a curse to the family. The Outreach Foundation also has ventured into many, many other places where children have been abandoned. You went with us in Zambia, where children or mothers would abandon their children because they can't feed them. It takes a whole lot for a mother to abandon a child. I'm a mother. I cannot imagine the reason behind a mother abandoning a child. So everyone might be that orphan. Everyone might be a widow. And the Bible says the religion that God honors is the one that takes care of orphans and widows. That's James. So today, as we think about going and being and preaching the good news to everyone, let's think about that everyone. Let's not ignore anyone who's on our path. Every time I read the text in Luke 5, I always remember in Luke 5, 1 through 11, it talks about, it's a revelation. If someone has a Bible, can someone read it for us? I said I am not a preacher, but let's Let's have someone to read Luke 5, 1 through 11. Luke 5, 1 through 11.
Once, while Jesus was standing beside the lake of Gennesaret, and the crowd was pressing in on him to hear the good news, the word of God, he saw two boats there at the shore of the lake. The fishermen had gone out of them and were washing their nets. Jesus got into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, and asked Simon to put out a little way from the shore. Then Jesus sat down and taught the crowds from the boat. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we have worked all night long but have caught nothing. Yet if you say so, I will let down the nets." And when they had done this, they caught so many fish that their nets were beginning to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Go away from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." For he and all who were with him were amazed at the catch of fish that they had taken, and so also were James and John, sons of Zebedee, who were partners with Simon. And then Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on you will be catching people." When they had brought their boats to shore, they left everything and followed Jesus.
Thank you. Thank you. Every time I think about going, and every time I think about order, and the Lord saying this and this and this, I come back to this text of some professionals who have gone fishing, knowing their skills, yet they did not catch any fish. Sometimes we also go into God's kingdom with our own knowledge, with our professional knowledge. Sometimes it works, some other time it doesn't work. But we know we want the professionalism. Professionally, we want to be there. Professionally, they had done all they know how to do. They had done all they knew. They knew if Jesus said, "Put your net out for a catch," it was not a good time for fishing. Sometimes God works in contrary with our knowledge. They knew it was not a time, and actually they said it, "Oh, Jesus, we have done that over and over the years." And when I think of this word, I also think about your mission fair being the 17th year of you doing the same thing. It takes a lot of work to organize, but it's also encouraging, especially when there is a catch, when there is some resources coming in. But sometimes you may also think, "Oh my goodness, last year we did not even get anything. Let's not even try this year." I like the disciples that they could give away some of their know-how and abandon their thinking and say, "Lord, if you say so, we will do." A few minutes ago, someone was asking me, "Can I go?" My answer may be no. My answer may be yes. But if the Lord tells you to go, you should go. The choir just gave us a prophecy. Be strong. Do not be led by fears. And among you, there are some who have probably tried several projects, and I get this from many churches, and they say, oh my goodness, we've sent money, we've sent resources, we've sent this, and nothing worked. Nothing. As a matter of fact, when you go on the African continent, with all the money that have been poured into projects, you still have poverty like nothing have been done. But Lord, if you say so, I will do. We will continue going. We will continue sowing the seeds. We will continue teaching and giving advice. The way I love the Outreach Foundation is the aspect of the presence with a partner, because we don't go do. We partner with partners. But at the same time, we carefully inform and advise the partners. And that part I love the most. That's my enjoyable time when I'm on the field with the partners, advising and looking at ways, because you know what? It's both ways. It blesses you, it blesses them, it's a blessing, but sometimes it can also be a curse, not only to them, but also to us who give. So make sure when you give something, you give it to the Lord, not just giving it to someone. Because the one who said, go into all the world and preach to everyone, is the one you should obey. I always believe, I'm a strong believer, that in his economy, I'm an economist, in his economy there is no waste. In his economy, there is always profit. In his economy, in his principles, even when 1 + 1 in his mathematics is equals 1, there is still some profits. There is still a lot of profits. You will not lose a thing if you give to the Lord. But you will lose everything if you give to individuals. Sometimes they are not faithful, but the Lord is faithful. So I can encourage you to really be stewardship of your own resources. I always do that as an economist. I encourage people to save and save and save and save, and I encourage people to invest and invest and invest. But I also encourage people to get the blessing of giving to the Lord. The text that was read to us was, do not grow weary. And I want to come back to just a little bit to that. There is tendency, and we say it, the Outreach Foundation, I say it as a project coordinator, as a project manager, there is always what we call donor fatigue. Was donor fatigue in God's mathematics? I don't know. But he's still saying, give and give and give. He's still saying, go and go and go. He's still saying, preach to everyone. Do not grow weary. Do not be afraid. Let your boat be used by the Lord. Let your resources, let your knowledge be cast into deep waters for a catch. And I will be happy to come and help you pull out the fish from your boat. Because the catch will be so much when you give to the Lord. The catch will be so much when you obey the Lord and cast the net into deep waters. Deep waters may be like we defined everyone. Deep waters might be into those places where we don't want to go, or into those everyone that we probably don't want to touch: the lepers, the orphans, the vulnerables, the widows. In the far east, in the far west, in the far south, in the far north, in the global church, as we call it. But let us be steward of let's kind of get a sense of stewardship and be good stewards of the word of the Lord. I like when I am in the field and I look at the results of us obeying and going. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal to look at the street children who are now left the streets and are going and doing their university degrees. It's phenomenal to look at a country that has been decimated by the genocide and to go back and look at the church, and the church has taken on reconciliation mandate, and the people are living together peacefully. It's phenomenal to look at a widow who has used just a few resources, a few coins that was collected over the years, and she had put those into good use, and now she owns a shop or this and this and this. It's phenomenal to look at what the Lord can do with just us obeying and going and preaching to everyone. I encourage you to go. I encourage you to preach to everyone. I encourage you to give to mission. I encourage you to be you and the Lord. Not just you alone, but you and the Lord. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord open your eyes. May the Lord lead you to go into all the world and be preachers of the gospel by word and deeds. Thank you.